Hi there. My name is That 911 Guy, and this is my first video with a commentary for ARK Survival Evolved. I thought for my first episode we could do a server tour. We are currently in the northeast section of the map. It's called the Oasis, is what it's going to be known as. Normally there's a big body of water here. I kept getting aggravated because my beavers were getting stuck in the water just doing circles, so I decided to build a large base platform right on top of the water. If we come inside, there's not much going on inside right now other than this one little workshop area I've got over here to the side. This eventually will be broken up into rooms. This building started off what I wanted to be a forward operating base for our tribe, and it still is, but there's not many people that get on steadily anymore besides myself, No Chance, and occasionally Empira. But just a little bit going on here, mostly crafting things just to get things going for this room and this base. If we come upstairs, the only thing that's going on up here is a bed, or a couple of beds for respawning purposes. This base did take a lot of materials, a lot of trips out with the beavers, and I've got 6 beavers running autonomously in the tunnels leading outside of this area. But it's still a work in progress. I forgot to get him out of here before I finished closing in this area, so goofball move on me. There are 3 dino gates going out of this area, so I can get any of my dinos in that I need to. Like Yogi Bear over here is pretty much just my mule to get from my Quetzal inside. This guy should not have been named this. That would be 911 No Chance's idea. For some reason my keyboard is doing what it did last night. Anytime I try to record, it turns my keyboard into a typing double letters. I'm not sure what's up with that. I'll change his name earlier. It was Super Beav earlier, but apparently last night he changed it to Justin Beaver. Not bad. I can deal with it. There are several dinos roaming around right now. I've set them all to wander because this place is completely closed in. There's a behemoth gate at all 3 entrances, which blocks every entrance nicely. The only one I had to add anything extra to was this one over here. It's got a couple of walls on each side just to keep things in. And apparently Starscream and Sally are butting up against each other. Starscream is my pride and joy. That is my level 208 Quetzal. Can't remember what level it started at. Pretty high. It wasn't a perfect tame, but he was pretty darn high when I started off. There's another Rex up there. Both the Rexes are pretty high level. They're over 100. There's a few Listros roaming around, a couple of bears, 1 scorpion. For those who aren't familiar, the Listros are the new dinos that actually give you like a 1.5%, or correction, 1.5 increase of. Let's go up, we'll do a little aerial shot, and then I'll show you 911 No Chance's base he's been working on over here, and then we'll go over to the community center for the tribe. This is a public server that I run. There's a few of our tribe members actually just wandered onto the server. I'm not sure how they found it. I haven't really tried to look for it in the server list to see how to find it. I think they just said they were looking for something with a low ping, and this one popped up. And other than the occasional rubber banding issues, it's actually run really well. It's run on kvgservers.com. I found them when I was looking for a Minecraft server to run Feed the Beast. They were the cheapest that I found. They are very, very helpful. This is 911 No Chance's base that he's been working on. There's not much going on inside, just a small little crafting area. He even right now doesn't have a way to get up to the 2nd floor. Again, just a work in progress, and his Quetzal's up there. At this time, I believe me and him are the only ones with Quetzals on the server, and mine is definitely the highest level. But the idea for this area was a base that he could build. It has two entrances, one on each side, one going inland and one going toward the beach. And the entire lower basin of his base is going to be a giant dino pen, similar to what I've done over there in the Oasis. So let's head over to the community center. There's not much between here and there, and as far as this, the only things going on the server are two things up here in the northeastern sector, and things going on at the community center. There are several members of the tribe, myself and No Chance. He's actually admin. Kicked him last night. He was being a goofball, so we had a little PvP match. Big and Lizzie are the other two main active players. Gormusk and Stanky both work together in the jail. Myself, No Chance, and another guy named Pyra all work at 911. And Pyra was in the tribe, but he decided to be a character last night, and when he did, I never got around to adding him back to the tribe. So he will be on occasionally. And while we're working our way over there, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about my rig, as well as the plans for this channel. I want to try to get into streaming a little bit. Next week or this week, whenever they drop the new center map, actual map for ARK, I believe we are going to make the switch to that. So everything's going to start over. My plan was to start recording then, but there was so much going on the server, at least in our bases, that I kind of wanted to show it off before we did that switch. My name is Nick. Here in most of my platforms, I go by that 911 guy. 911 for about 10 years. I've got beautiful daughters, a beautiful wife. Anytime I'm home, I'm watching the kids, or I'm not doing anything like I do on the side, I'm trying to play this, or usually playing Xbox One or something like that. The rig I'm running is a MSI GS70 laptop, the 0991. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM, it's running an i7 processor, and GeForce 970 with 6 gigabytes of video RAM. Pretty good platform. I've been very pleased with it. I've had everybody may make the switch to a PC, keep this mobile platform. I haven't gotten that money together to do that yet. As far as streaming, I've just started streaming and doing capture. The capture I'm doing is with the GeForce Experience software. Pretty good. I've only recorded one video. This is my first one with commentary. My headset I'm running is just an old Turtle Beach X12 that I found at the house. I'm going to try it for a while and see how it sounds, see what the sound quality's like. As far as what I hear when I play the game, it sounds pretty good. I wouldn't mind having some surround sound for this stuff. Razer Naga, which I'm about to upgrade from. I'm having some issues with the wire. And currently I'm not running any kind of video editing software, so anything that I do record for the time being will be one solid stream. There won't be cuts, anything like that. I am running this in full Epic quality on my computer. It runs smoothly. Again, the only issues I have is some rubber banding. I believe that's server side. So people that are on experience the same time I do. The only time I've ever had to switch it away from Epic is like last night when I was recording. After I recorded, I kept getting that double typing issue, and I did switch it from full screen to windowed full screen. I did fix the typing issue, but I suffered greatly in performance. My frame rate dropped. It was very glitchy. So I dropped the settings from Epic to high, and that did seem to fix it quite a bit, but it just wasn't as pretty as I like this game to be. It's a very, very beautiful game. I bought it a while back. It's been about a year. I never could get into it, especially solo. This is a very difficult game to learn. I was watching first King Daddy D-Mac. I was watching a lot of his Feed the Beast series and saw that he was doing a lot of ARK now, so I started watching his series and ended up watching Slipgator. And I love King Daddy's personality everything he talks about, but toward the end of, I believe it was the second season, he started doing a lot of breeding, which I didn't. It's fine, it's great, but it's just not something that I'm into right now at this point in the game. So I started watching Slipgator, and man, that guy's funny. That guy's really funny. I'm gonna go over here and grab this. It looks like a yellow beacon. I'm gonna go grab that, and then we'll come back and tour the community center. So like I said, you've learned a little bit about me. You know about where I work at Now One. Been there a while, and my plans for the channel so far. Is that a white drop? I believe that's a white drop. That's not even. So anyway, this is where we started off. Where I started off before I made any changes to the server. It was just a straight, all the rules from the official server. Nothing changed. And I started working on this. I thought this was a beautiful place to make a community base. South 2, I believe, or maybe it's South 1, spawns right there on that beach. So I figured it'd be easy for anybody coming in, be able to find the base. So I started off with a small building, ended up running water all the way up, and I got tired of running all the way to the beach to get water. And then just a few walls and a few gates right here protected this side. And I had to run a wall all the way down this side to protect this side. 1 behemoth gates and a total of 5 gates everywhere else. Made it pretty efficient. And the plan was to have a community center for everyone. That way they could get some once they got settled in and start gathering stuff for their own. Everybody would build their own house. Go ahead and we'll start over here at 911 No Chance's house. His was actually the first house to come up after the community center. Let's go show off first. Whole lot going on inside. It's very efficient. Couple reserving bins, a campfire, storage in here. And if I can view that right to get that. Smithy, a couple of refining forges, and a campfire in this room. A couple of other mortar and pestles, sorry. The English majors want to jump out at me. A bookshelf, he's got some stuff he's found in drops in there. And then here's his hangar. I believe he was parking his Quetzal up top before we switched areas. Very cool. The roof was kind of tricky the way we did it, with this side being sloped up and down that way and this side being the opposite way. And get the look good. The center area over there is the dino pit. See much to start with. There's 4 rocks that were unbreakable, so I used those as the corner pillars and then just kind of built to them. Put walls along the bottom, door frames in the middle, double stacked another wall. That was kind of cool look. That I did King Daddy D-Mac. A lot of his stuff is really good. So many good ideas. Lizzie's little house, she's got a few bears. We all kind of went crazy gathering bears when that update dropped. They're such a presentation. They are so good at gathering fiber. Got so much fiber with those guys. In here, Lizzie's house. It's very straightforward, very efficient. House. Personally, I like to have them a little taller, bigger, but it's all aesthetics to me. It's not really a purpose of the house for the community center. I just wanted everybody to have their own area so they can store their own stuff. They didn't want people gathering. There's a smaller house right over here. He built this one, but I think it's more of a brick house. I checked, there wasn't anything in here other than some dimorphodons. He does have a couple of listros he got. And again, these are just XP boosters. I don't think they stack. But you can see they put up a little arrow next to anything that actually does get experience from them. Starscream's just a little bit out of reach, so he can't get it. Huh, I don't think I've ever noticed that. Right above his name, if you can see that, that's looks like a feeding trough. So maybe that tells you if they are within range of a feeding trough. If I had known that, or at least if they had added that before, that would have been very helpful inside that dino pit. I had a couple animals get really low on health. I think I even had one die at one point because I wasn't feeding them. Store. I may even forgot to shove no chances, but him not being over here, I think it's a big deal. Here's my house that I started working on. Spent a little bit of time on it. All these guys right here, Empire was on last night. He accidentally hit the all follow command, which is mapped to J on his. I think it is on mine too, but I had no chance unbind it on his. I really don't see the point in an all follow unless you're out in the middle of nowhere and got a few dinos. Like kind of helpful. Past that, it's just aggravating. I hate that. In here, smaller house as far as my standards. I want something that be kind of cool, multi-level. Did that part on purpose. 8 pillars, but got them to work in the forward operating base and made them look pretty good with none of them poking through by doing the double stack like I've seen the Slipgator do. But Fabricator, kind of hide it. It doesn't really fit in with the rest of my design. Smithy up here. I was gonna do some storage along the top. Get access from the Fabricator, but I believe it's a little bit too tall to be able to work the way I want it to. Generator into there. I was gonna put a window and a wall up so you can access it through the window. I've been over here in a little bit, so it's actually running out of gas. But storage in here, not too much. Repair saddle in case I can get them higher over here. Building materials. Materials over here. And here's some stuff that I was planning on using later on. Journeyman crossbow, some pretty good stuff. I gave Malwin no chance of a Mastercraft crossbow I found the other day. I've been using this long neck rifle. The only reason I gave it to him, it still does more damage than that. Use it for tranquilizer darts. For anything damage wise, I usually try to use a pike or a sword. Fabricated sniper rifle, I built that and learned the Ingrams like a dummy, thinking that I could use tranquilizer darts with it. I thought that'd be pretty cool to trank get it to work with it. Apparently you can only use the sniper bullet. I almost forgot to show you. There's a upper level hanger of sorts. I've just got Main and Streaker in here. And at the very top there's an area for again, not much to my house. There is a dino pen over here on the side, just for my personal dinos. All those guys were acquired before I beefed up the settings of the server. Everybody was in agreement to crank it up all the way so we could get some high level drops, high level dinos and whatnot. So if I come over here, I believe Stanky was working on this. I think that's going to be his house. Haven't seen him on a little bit though. This is something that I built from the start. Again, when I first started building it, it was before I cranked up any of the settings on the server, before really anybody started playing. And once people started playing and I started getting into the editing of all the commands, usually gather rate to 2.0, the resource health to nighttime to, or excuse me, night speed to 6. I believe the day speed is about 0.25. So the days are extremely long, the nights are extremely short, about 3 minutes long maybe. And to try to get it to work, change the distance from building things to the resource respawn. It's kind of I think it's a little bit too far. You know? I wish it was native to the command so you could change it a little bit more easily. It's a command you have to copy and paste theme.ini of the yeah, I can't think of what the thing's called, but all the scripts and all that. I did change it, but it doesn't seem to have taken effect. I know it's not retroactive. I was hoping that I could get it to work with some of the new stuff, and it don't appear it did. It may have, but I don't think it did. That's one thing I'm working on. The thing that I changed is I changed the food down to 0.5. I think I was running through food just a little bit too fast. So, water I left the same, because like I said, I did run water up here, so that anybody could come up here, grab water if they needed it. I'm going to go ahead and fill up my canteen. I am running a ghillie suit because up there in the oasis area it's pretty hot, and I was burning through a lot of water. So I'm using this, dyed it black and red, which doesn't really look like black and red, but it looks good. I've also got my flak suit. It's mostly apprenticed and journeyman. Did have to replace my gauntlets because, like a dummy, I went with my brand new scuba set and a journeyman pipe jet in my gauntlets because there's no scuba gauntlets. Ended up getting killed out in the water like a dummy. Scuba suit, I lost my journeyman pipe. It's gauntlets. So, gauntlets. I'm gonna find me some nice flak ones, some really high level. And my tri-kilns that I got from the Alpha Room. The reg skins are pretty common. Ones don't seem to be as common, so that's why I'm running with this one. Anyway, back to the tour. There's a lot of storage in here. This was the actual original community center, this small room right here. It overlooked the water out there. Well, I decided after a few people started playing it was time to expand, so I several over here, a few over here, big enough to where I could get some vaults. All these vaults are accessible, from the outside. Windows. I thought you could walk your dino up to the side, offload or unload, wherever you be. Go from there. There's also a passage through here where you can walk your dinos through if it'd be easier to access from the side, walk the levers, what have you. So not much there. Trough in here because I was storing some dire wolves. Some of these, I may raid this later to see if I can find maybe some black gold like that work for me. Past it. Smithy and fabricator up here. Again, not the most efficient setup because you do have to run down or jump over that railing to get down to the storage if you need more cementing paste or whatever. And up here is just a nice size hangar that I made for all the Argentavis, I just call them Argies. Shadow Beak was my main guy for a long time. He's been leveled quite a bit. His weight's actually not that high. I think I was pumping melee on him, but let's get weight up to 500 and use some melee. See, most of these, like I said, were gathered before the increase in the server. A lot of them have been leveled up quite a bit. Becker, no, he's one of my new ones. I did bring a couple of guys over from the other server. Interesting glitch right there. If you guys can see that right there to the right of that electrical line, it's casting like another image of it. But when I made the greenhouse, I ran electricity over there for a light, and I also ran water. I tried to make the water look more like an electricity line with a pole over there, unnecessary, but I thought it was kind of cool. 2 lights on this side, and I was going to do 2 lights on here, and I just haven't yet. Let's go back downstairs. There are some lights in here. There's one in here. The next room, as well as 2 on the front floor and the back. These guys are supposed to be laying eggs, which they have not done. I wanted to start doing perfect tames on bears, and you need Carno kibble, I believe. But no eggs from them yet. We've got quite a few eggs in the forward operating base, but none for those. This is the greenhouse I'm working on. Try to make it as clean as possible. There's one for every plant on the server to my knowledge. I think I even tried to do 2 of narcotics or narcoberries. Several of these, and I had a few that was called Poop Master Flax, but he actually got killed. I think it was by a raptor or an alpha raptor that spawned in up here. These guys are amazing. I love these guys. But if anybody ever runs one, make sure you got plenty of fertilizer on it. If you run out of fertilizer, you lose that seed. Those guys that I said I watch, when they were playing, at least so they were getting seeds from the mountaintops, from the red plants. That's where I went, and I was looking for several hours, and I never could find any. I found the red plants, I just couldn't get a seed off of them. And no chance when we were working on a lot over here. he was down here in the swamp going crazy. He died a couple times, but anyway. Red plants, red cluster plants. And they look kind of like part of what you saw in there. Let's see if I can find one real quick before we get out of here and head back to the forward operating base. Anyway, if you can open one of these clusters, yeah, they got something like 80 something plant X species seeds. I know this is one of the most dangerous areas of the map, at least in my opinion, because of all the Titan boas. A little bit higher level, they're not quite as scary, but those guys were crazy at first. Anyway, check out the swamp. If you're ever looking for some plant species X once you're late game, at least mid-late, I think you can survive the swamp a little bit. Down here and take a look around. If you can find one, it's so many plant species X, you can kind of play around with them and see where you want your base. But I will warn you, if your dinos get in the way that plant species X is shooting at, it will kill your dinos. It seems like I've noticed most things when they start taking damage from a plant species X, they don't tend to run away or aggro anything. And I've got mine set to all targets just to keep dinos fresh in the area. Guy. I think that's going to be it. This is a pretty long video for me. It's going to take a long time to upload. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here, but if anybody's watching this, thanks for watching. I know I'm new on here. I've had my channel for a while, but I haven't really put anything on here but stuff of my girls that I like to save in case I change phones or change computers or whatever. I'm going to try to start uploading videos from here, and I think my next video, unless I find something cool to do on here, may just be when we switch over to the center map. I may try to do a lot of recording of the center map, because I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of people doing that yet. And maybe that'll bring a few people over to the server too. If anybody wants the access to the server, if they want the IP address, just shoot me a message, shoot me a comment on here. I'm that 911 guy on here, as well as Steam and Xbox Live, so hit me up on any of these. Like I said, I'm not saying I'm the best player on here. I'm not saying I'm the most experienced. I'm definitely not. But I'm really good at the people on my server. I try to do anything I can for them, and the same goes in real life. I try to be good to all my friends. No one, no chance. My partner on shift right now, Empire, is another guy that works with us. Real close with those guys. Anyway, I think that's all. I don't think I've got anything else. I think I may have missed anything I may have failed to mention. I'm going to try in my next video, especially when we start the new center maps, because I think that's when people might start watching, to show off all the things I've learned as far as the buttons for how to switch stuff fast, how to drop stuff out of your inventory, things like that. Because it took me a while, and not a lot of people mention it in their videos, how to do that. I had to do some research on it. But I'll cover that on the next video. Thanks for anybody who's watching. Hope you guys have a great day.